Hey, everybody. I am so grateful to be joined today by the amazing Ethan Chung, who is a past student of my AP Biology class and honestly, one of the most incredible students I've ever taught. I know how busy he is, and I'm so grateful that today he'll be sharing about his experiences taking AP classes and some practical tips on how you, our viewers, can succeed. I want to give a quick shout out here to Mrs. Chung. Yeah, let's go, Mrs. Chung, who is one of the greatest teachers I know, and also Ethan's mom. And just really credit for raising Ethan to be the amazing young man that he is today. All right, so let's get started. Ethan, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Mr. Chow. Definitely staying busy with college lately, but so glad to be on spring break right now, getting some rest and relaxation. And I'm so glad to re-energize for the second half of my semester.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Enjoy it. So, hey, before we get into some pieces of wisdom and some advice for our students listening, hey, let's do a quick round where our viewers can get to know you. All right. So Ethan, where do you currently go to college and what are you studying?
Sure. Yeah. I'm a freshman at UC Berkeley, studying in the Management, Entrepreneurship, and Technology program. And I'm majoring in bioengineering and business.
That's a lot. That's awesome. Great. So obviously we're going to talk about AP exams today. How many AP exams have you taken?
Oh, yeah. So over the 4 years of my high school career, I took 14 exams.
What?
Yeah, definitely a lot. That's a very large number. And definitely I've seen fellow classmates who have taken less and I see them very successful. That is just the path I chose to take, but definitely don't feel pressure to take as many.
That's well said. That's well said. I totally agree with that. So, hey, last year you were a senior in my class. So wait, just real quick, how many did you take last year as a senior online?
I took 7 APs last year, and it was definitely a very unique experience being the first year online.
Ethan, you're one of the most homeless guys. I actually had no idea you were taking 7 APs, right? In addition to mine, right? Or 6 in addition to mine. So that's awesome. So 14 exams over 4 years, which is crazy. But hey, did you pass them all? Curious.
I passed most of them with 5s and 4s. To be completely honest, though, I actually failed my first AP test that I took with a 1.
With a 1?
Yeah, a 1.
See, once again, like I would have never known that. Wow, like thanks for sharing that. That it makes us feel better about ourselves.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hey, actually, let's talk a little bit more about that. Obviously, you're one of the best academic students I've ever taught in my entire career, thousands of students. But what happened during that first test? Let's talk about that. How'd you get a 1?
I'd say one thing I'd attribute it to is just overconfidence. I think I took maybe just one practice test before that test. And I got a 5. I was feeling super confident, ego inflated, and just like thought I was ready for the test, just very like naive freshman. But like I got into the test and it was definitely an interesting experience. And yeah, I like definitely understood how important it was to prep and study for the AP exams after taking that test. And it seems like whatever right answer there was, I wrote the exact opposite. And it was just a very heartbreaking one to receive.
Hey, so I'm just curious, like, did that affect your confidence at all? Because come on, 14 exams, the majority being 5s, right? Some 4s, but your first exam being a 1. Like how did you recover from that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, completely honestly, my confidence was very rattled. Because that was the only test I took. I had a whole year gap in between the next time I was going to take it. So that whole year in between, I kind of had a chip on my shoulder, just like I can't let this happen again. Like I need to bounce back this next year. So during freshman year, I'd say I like under prepped. So sophomore year, I showed to myself that like I was going to over prep. And with that, I got a 5 the next year and definitely bounced back.
That's awesome. That's so good. I love hearing those stories. That's great. Let's get super practical. A lot of our audience, whoever's watching this video, they're going to be taking some online AP tests this year. In general, how do you study, right? Like you've taken a lot of exams, not just AP exams, but exams in general. How do you study for AP tests?
Yeah, so I've definitely taken many tests throughout my academic career. And I think the way that I found most effective for myself is just starting from the ground up, just starting from square one and looking at your week one material and just working your way up until where you are currently. And this may seem very redundant, very boring, but for me, this works best for me because a lot of times I was very confident in like material that I was probably good at one point, say chapter 5, I was very strong at, but over time your memory starts to fade and you may not know it at the time. So for me, it was very important to start going through each of the topics one by one and making sure that I was filling in any gaps if I forgot anything. And that was definitely something that was very important to my testing. And one way I'd say to reinforce that is through prep books. I know not everyone has the resources to get a prep book, but in my opinion, I really enjoyed the yellow Princeton prep book compared to the Barron's book, 5 Steps to a 5. I definitely found the yellow Princeton book to be the most thorough, most similar to the test. So I'd highly encourage it. It's a great investment. And also, if you choose not to get a prep book, I would say there are online resources such as Khan Academy that are just as effective. So there's always a way to find prep.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for that. We appreciate that. Let's talk about practice, because practice is a huge part of doing well on really any test. How do you practice for an AP test?
Yeah, I would say the most important part about practice is planning. Because especially with AP tests, you really need to understand the format and the flow of the tests. And with that, the number one way to practice that is taking past exams. And while they are long, you just have to get through it and make sure that you understand the format of it. And AP tests take a long time, honestly. So you got to make sure that you lay out your schedule at least a month in advance and make sure that you have enough time to get all the practice in that you need. And to go off like a point I made earlier, definitely making sure you understand the flow of the test is very important. You don't want any surprises to come up on the test. So you want to know how many questions you're going to see, how long you have, and just overall, you want to be comfortable with the test before you even start it.
Wow, that was great. So last year, 7 exams, all online, and that was an experience in itself. But for this year, for our school, not every school, but for our school, we're going to be also doing all our tests online. What are your best advice and strategies for online AP testing?
Yeah, online tests were definitely very interesting, especially because I'd never seen one like it before because it was the first year we were doing it. So it was something you had to adjust to. And I'd say you were probably very comfortable with technology at this point, but still, I would say get very comfortable with the online platform. Again, you don't want to see any curveballs the day of the test. Make sure that you're taking the advantage of the practice AP exams that you're getting and making sure that you just have a lot of peace of mind on the day of the test and that you're very reassured that you know how it's going to be structured, how it's going to flow, and that you're confident you're going to do well.
Great advice. Do you still get anxious? Like, do you still get a little scared? Like, I know like you've taken a lot of exams in your life, but how do you deal with test anxiety?
Yeah, I would say like even now I still get like a little bit of test nervousness the day of, but yeah, I'd say like I was in like the worst of it during junior year when like AP testing is very emphasized, and I thought it was very important. And I think something that I realized is just you just have to be very confident in your ability. I think one of like the most important aspects of performing well on tests is your mindset. And just one thing that I like to go into a test knowing is I did everything possible that I could to prep for this exam. Like I wasn't lazy. I wasn't like missing out on this information. Just with everything that I've studied, I'm confident that I could get 100% on this exam, even if I may not do it. But you want to go in with that type of mindset, just the confidence that you have done everything in your power. You're ready and able to ace that test.
Ethan, you're really an incredible guy. Like, I've learned so much from you, even through this interview right now. What I love about you is you're not just a smart guy, but you're a guy of character, a young man of character. And this is totally unrelated here, but how did you become you? Like, like let's reflect a little bit. Yeah. So how'd you become the person you are today?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm finding new stuff about me every single day, and definitely like freshman year to senior year, I was very different. Even senior year to now, I'm still very different. And I think a important part of that is just like one thing I try to remember every day is just trying to grow each and every day to be one step closer to what I want to become in the future. So it wasn't like one day I chose to be like, oh, I'm gonna be like this now. It was gradual. I may not have seen the transformation like on the spot, but definitely like I like my personality, maybe my achievements. It's like something I've worked towards slowly. So definitely like setting goals to progress towards is super important to me.
And, like as we were prepping for this interview, like we were talking and you mentioned how, like how much your family means to you and just how much they've supported you through this process. I'm just going to give you the platform right now. Is there anything you want to say to your mom, dad, your sister, or anything like that?
Sure. I would say to like mom, dad, Megan, I would say thank you for helping me become a very well-rounded person, not just a test taker, but also helping me grow faithfully and just trying to be a good human. And I'd say thank you always for helping me throughout my academic career. And most importantly, just letting me set my own goals and not pressuring me. But all along the way, making sure that I had everything I needed to attain those goals. So thank you so much for that. And I really appreciate it.
Dude, that was great. That was great. That's spontaneous right there. That was great. Hey, so any last words to all our students who are going to be taking online AP tests this year? Come on.
Good luck to all of you. I know you're going to ace it. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Get hyped. Get ready to take this test and enjoy the process.
Dude, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'm just so proud of you. I am so proud of you and just the guy you consistently grow into. All right. So I'll see you next time. All right, bye.
Thanks, Mr. Chow.